Hijacked. Hijacked. Well, I guess a good place to start. I'm not hijacked right now. I keep my hand on my heart, so I'm not stuck in my head, so I'm not dead. I don't know. The idea of being hijacked, it doesn't trigger me. I guess that's a good thing. Whenever I start to get hijacked these days, I can usually recognize it. And instead of reacting like I once would have done and putting myself in a deeper hole, I can respond. So, y'all may have already heard me share the story where I was at the hospital and I wanted to share Earthwaking with this guy, but he went into his daughter's hospital room and I was like, I was a little bit drunk, and so I walked down the hall and I was like, the nurse approached me and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, I was just waiting for this guy to come out so I could talk to him. And obviously she was pretty weirded out and responded as I'm sure she should have, just to send me back to, my mom's room. But in that moment, I felt pretty hijacked. Like, I felt a fear response because I could sense her unease, like maybe the feeling that like maybe I was a threat. And that made me feel threatened. So it really brought up a lot of physiological fear, feelings in my body and in my mind, and I wrestled with it for a while. But fortunately, I didn't react. I didn't freak out, and I just said, I responded, and I said, okay. And I just went my way. I didn't actually go back to my mom's room. I took the elevator down to the first floor, went out to the parking lot. I sat in the car for a while and just kind of cooled down, and just got back in peace. Another recent example, since I haven't been having Wi-Fi at home until recently, I was going to this gym down the street to be able to do all my Earthwaking work and anything that requires being online, because no phone service. And last week, this Friday last week, after our unsilenced class, this guy approached me because I was literally sitting in front of near the doors to the gym, and I wasn't a gym member, and so he essentially asked me to leave and go home because I had been hanging around there so much and people were getting weirded out. And I responded even better than I did last time. There was less of that like fear response, so I didn't get freaked out. I responded pretty well in the moment, and I said, okay, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go home. And it was only on the way home that those feelings started to come up and like try to hijack me, but the moment was already done with, so I just released on all that stuff that was coming up, and it was easier to do it because obviously there is no threat. The only possibility of there being a threat would be if I was to go back to this place where I'm not supposed to go anymore. But it was actually exactly what I needed to hear and what needed to happen, because now I do have Wi-Fi again, because I decided to, what little money I had, I wasn't able to afford to get my phone back on, so I got my Wi-Fi restored, and then the phone is coming next. So if you start to feel hijacked, I would say don't judge yourself for it. It could be that, you feeling these feelings in the moment, that's exactly what you're meant to feel. And the challenge is, don't react to it. You're not an animal. Respond to it. You're a man, you're a woman, you're a human. You're a creation of God. So, yeah, I went a little over on this one, but I guess I had more to share. If you watched the whole thing, thank you for listening. And be mindful that you don't get hijacked. And if you do get hijacked, recognize that fact and return to love. Thank you.